Hi everyone, let's continue. Next lecture that is on elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand, that is a very important phenomena we must understand because how we can understand price fluctuation in the market, income fluctuation in the market, and cross elasticity in terms of substitute goods and complementary goods. So let's begin. It refers to the degree of responsiveness of quantity demanded of a good to a change in its price, consumer's income, and price is of related goods. That is the elasticity of demand. So that is three categories. We are going to study number one, price elasticity of demand, then income elasticity of demand, then cross elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand means it measures how much the quantity demanded of a good responds to a change in price of that good. It is computed as EP stands for, you can see, that is elasticity, price elasticity. Percentage change in quantity demanded. We will focus on quantity demanded and percentage change in price. So this is the relationship between these two points, these two units, percentage change in quantity demanded and percentage change in price. How we are going to calculate this particular percentage change in demand and percentage change in price. But before this, let's understand what are the degrees of price elasticity of demand. We can categorize into five categories. Number one is unitary elastic demand. Another one is elastic demand. Third one is inelastic demand. Fourth one is perfectly elastic demand. And last one is perfectly inelastic demand. I will explain you all these five degrees of elasticity one by one with example. First of all, we must understand this term, unitary elastic demand. That means we are talking about if we will calculate this elasticity, whatever is the value, percentage in quantity and percentage change in demand, answer would be 1. Answer will be 1. That is why we are calling it unitary elastic demand. That means this is the price, let's say, and this is the quantity demanded. And when the price is this, then quantity demanded is this. So that means proportionate change in the price and proportionate percentage change in the quantity, that is same. Means denominator and numerator, right? When we will divide numerator with denominator, answer will be 1. Let's say we can say percentage change in quantity, let's say divided percentage change in, let's say Q, and we can say percent. We will not write delta. Delta I will discuss later. So let me clean this. So if suppose we will talk about percentage change in price, percentage change in quantity, and divided by percentage change in price. If both the values are, let's say, for example, this is a hypothetical 5 by 5. Both the percentage change is like, so when we will divide 5 by 5 and answer will be 1. So we can say unitary elastic demand means your EP value would be 1. I hope you understand. Then we come to the elastic demand. Elastic demand means if there is always elasticity, we will correlate with term quantity. Elastic demand means we're talking about there is less change in price, but huge change in demand. Less change in price and huge change in demand. And inelastic demand means a great change in price, but there is a very less change in demand. So that means we can say inelastic demand means there's a very less impact of change in price on the demand quantity demanded. Means we are talking about this inelastic demand, we will consider it in terms of necessity goods. So inelastic demands, we are talking about necessity goods. Means if the price of onion will increase, so people, they will not stop consuming this commodity. They will consume this, but at the lesser quantity because that is costly. So here is, you can see, first I am going to discuss inelastic. You can see this was the initial price, and later on we can say this was the, after this is the price change. Now you can see percentage change in price is bigger and percentage change in quantity is lesser. You can see. You can see this area is bigger and this area, this change is very less. So we can say in terms of that would be inelastic. So always value would be less than 1. So we can say percentage change in quantity, same formula we are going to apply, but I'm going to calculate here. Let's say change in quantity. Sorry, this one is the answer would be greater than 1. Why? Because quantity change in, just a moment. No. Percentage change is quantity divided by percentage price. So answer would be less than 1. Because see, change in the price, let's say we can say change in price is, we can say, let's say 5. And change in quantity is 5 and change in price is, let's say, 10, because that is bigger. When we will divide 5 divided by 10, and answer would be 1 by 2, and now you can say answer is price elasticity would be lesser than 1. So that means we can say that is inelastic demand. 5 by 10, 1 by 2, and 0.5. We can take any number, let's say 7 divided by 8, or any, whatever is the changes. We will discuss some numericals also on this particular problem. So I hope you understand inelastic demand. Then we come to the elastic demand. Elastic demand means this proportion. This is the numerator, this is denominator. In this case, that will be reverse. That will be, we can say, let's say 10 by 5. And answer would be, let's say 5. This one is, answer would be 2. So that would always greater than 1. And this would always be less than 1. Correct? That is always greater than 1. So here is how we can calculate. You can see this is the initial price. And this is the, we can say, change in price, right? And this is the quantity demanded would be much higher. Right. So because quantity demanded is high, let's say that was 10 and price change is only 5 rupees. So this one would be numerator, this is denominator divided by this, and answer would be greater than 1. You can see this. You can see this portion is bigger than this portion. Means we can say this commodity is somewhere is luxury commodity, or we can say some would not necessity. Because people, they would not, if the slight change in the price, that is the bigger change in the quantity demanded. We can say, let's say some particular company, they are giving offer on one particular product, and they are saying there's the little bit change in the price and people are demanding more. Okay, fine. We need this particular quantity. You have seen sometimes sales and they are offering buy one get one free, or something. There's a little bit change in the price and they are increasing. People are demanding more. Then we come to the perfectly elastic demand. Perfectly elastic demand means price is fixed, but still you can say people are demanding. Let's say this is Q1, this is Q2, and this is Q3. You can say this quantity Q1, Q2, and Q3. This is the quantity is varying. This is the price, but this price is fixed. Why? That means here is a price is not responsible for change in quantity. We are talking about means other situations. Means might be possible there's the festival season. That is why people are demanding more sugar. Might be possible there is some other regions people are demanding more on the same quantity due to we can say if we will talk about candles, so people are demanding more candles during that particular festival. Even price was before that was also the same, and after this also same, right? And this is perfectly inelastic demand. And you can see perfectly inelastic demand is constant whatever is the price, right? When the price was, let's say, 5 rupees, price is here 10 rupees, price is here 11 rupees, but you can say people are demanding. There is no change in demand. We can take an example of this salt. I'm just asking this question right in your comment box also. If suppose there's the change in the price of salt, so you will start consuming more salt. No, not at all. Because whatever is your body is demanding, that salt only you have consumed. And same is here when the price would be higher. So you will demand, you will consume lesser salt. No. Whatever is your body is demanding, you have to consume the same quantity of the salt. Right. So that means here is price would vary, but demand will not change. But here is, you can see price is fixed, but is still demand is keep on changing. That is perfectly elastic demand. That is perfectly inelastic demand. So I hope you can understand what is the meaning of this change in degrees of price elasticity of demand. Let's understand with the help of this table, perfectly elastic, you can say infinite and horizontal curve. And we can check it also. Perfectly elastic, horizontal. You can say shape of the curve is horizontal. That's correct. But how come it is infinite? I'm just showing you. Infinite means again we will put all the values. Let's say change in the quantity, let's say 5. Change in the price is 0. You can see price is not changing. So ultimately when any numerator we will divide by 0 and answer would be infinite. So I hope this is clear. Then the perfectly elastic expression would be 0, right? And this curve would be vertical. Let's say we will understand this is the vertical curve. This is the perfectly inelastic. Let me change my tan color. Right. Not this one. I will take something green. You can see perfectly elastic. You can see, and perfectly elastic. This is demand curve is that is vertical. You can see, and it's vertical. And after that, simply we are going to apply this formula. Same percentage change in quantity and percentage change in price. You can see here 0 because there is no change in quantity in this case. So 0 divided by change in price. Let's say this is the hypothetical 5. So what would be answer? Always expressions will be 0. So value of this perfectly elastic always 0 and perfectly elastic is always infinite. Then we come to the unitary elastic. I have already rectangular hyperbola. So I have already expressed here unitary elastic. How come? It is equal to 1 and this shape of the curve you can say hyperbola. And we come to the relatively elastic. Relatively elastic that is greater than 1, more than 1. That is flat. Your curve is flat. So I have already shown you relatively elastic. You can see relatively elastic. We can call it elastic or we can call it relatively elastic. This one. And answer is greater than 1 because this is the lesser change in price and greater change in quantity. You can see that is greater than 1, more than 1. And relatively elastic, you can see less than 1. Why it is less than 1? It is less than 1 you have seen that is 0.5 and we can see this is the curve and you can see bigger change in price and lesser change in quantity. That is less than, correct? So this is the table. I'm sure this table is clear to you. And what are the degrees of this price elasticity? And we will discuss in the next video further what are the determinants of this elasticity and what are the other parameters and income elasticity, cross elasticity we will discuss in the next video. Thank you. Keep watching. Stay tuned.